Hi, my name is Alicia Herring, and this lesson was centered around a kindergarten social studies standard that states students will describe the work people do and whether they produce a good or provide a service. I used the NETS S standards 1, 2, and 6 when implementing this lesson. Students interacted and collaborated with peers to publish digital media reflecting their understanding of the standards being taught. At the beginning of the lesson, students were allowed to choose between a Glogster or a SlideShare. This on the screen is the Glogster, and this is the slideshow. After completion, both projects were posted on my class Wikispace page. You can see the address to my Wikispace in this top bar. The Glogster is embedded in the Wikispace, and the slideshow is also embedded in the Wikispace. In the middle, you see a YouTube video, which is actually just our slideshow turned into a YouTube video, so you could hear the students' voices on their pages. With these activities, students had to apply their knowledge by creating a Glogster or slideshow about a community helper and summarizing what they learned to their peers. They had to explain why people work and how they themselves can become community helpers. To help them with this standard about themselves becoming a community helper, we participated in a local canned food drive for the Salvation Army. Also on my Wikispace page, you can see some of the pictures of my students as we participated in March of the Cans last Friday to donate these cans to the needy people in Thomas County. Learning was differentiated by breaking the students into groups and by the amount of teacher support and modeling. Equitable access was assured in large group because of the interactive smartboard, which all students can see and use in a whole group setting. Small group time was given to all students 3 times during the week, and individual time was given to students on an as-needed basis. Students were assessed on the content standards using a rubric with a not yet, an in progress, or meets. Listening standards were also used in the rubric to assess students' projects, the Glogster or the slideshow. In my classroom, I have a smartboard that allows me to create interactive lessons. I created one to help students learn the concept that some community helpers are service workers and some produce a good. So students sorted the community helpers into one category or the other. I created another smartboard lesson for wants and needs, another kindergarten standard that the students learned while participating in the community canned food project. Reflective journals were used for students at the end of all projects. After their peers shared, students were then sent back in groups to choose 3 community helpers to draw about and tell about to their teacher. Here's some of the work created by our students. Some challenges that I faced while implementing this lesson was time in my classroom. The students were very engaged in their learning, which is really exciting, but I often had to stop them so that we could move on to another part of our day. Another challenge I faced is the slideshow presentation. Students did a great job creating their pages in PowerPoint, but once I turned it into a slideshow, the audio was gone. It took me some troubleshooting to figure out how to keep their page and their audio and turn it into a Web 2.0 tool. I ended up using Movie Maker to import their slides and their voices and then turning it into a YouTube video. Surely there has to be an easier way. So if I could give any advice, it's to find that tool before you implement this project. Another helpful hint that I can give you with some troubleshooting I did before this lesson was the use of Audacity to record my students' voices. This is a great tool if you need to edit, which we did in kindergarten. Please feel free to visit my Class Wikispace page at aharry21.wikispaces.com to see our full presentations. Thank you.